day. I wish I weren't. I didn't have. Well, I guess I probably could later on. I can on my way home. I have my ladder on the top, so I can't. With the ladder up there, I can't really open up the top of the Jeep.
Oh,
I can do that on the way home.
Yeah.
As long as there's no chance of rain.
And at least you're going west instead of due east into the sun.
All right, so they got the YouTube up. Good. Yeah, I got a halo going here.
That's okay, Bruce. Technically, I have a spotlight on me, a foghorn light on me, and a lightning storm behind me.
Yeah?
Pictures on the wall.
Uh-oh. Do they have the Reveille icon? Is that a mute on the Reveille computer?
It's not mute.
The Reveille computer's not muted?
Nope. It's
okay.
It just has 0 bars. Oops, now it has some bars.
Good morning, everybody. I'm online today because my wife is pretty sick and I don't want to share it.
Got to take care of the missus.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
She's getting better.
Oh, good.
You're catching up on your reading with all the books behind you.
Mm-hmm.
They're fake.
I know.
Actually, I have more than that in my library, but that's not the point.
Yeah, Allison and I were building up a big library until the Kindle came out. We're like, taking up all that space, for books, if we can put it all in one little device. Yeah, it would make sense there.
Right.
Well, I have about 2,200 on my Kindle, but I got 7,600 physical books. And sometimes I'll buy the physical book anyway.
Wow.
Well, at the time we were thinking about, getting into the cruising lifestyle, going out, sailing the world and, getting offshore. And, that doesn't work well with,
a big library.
A big library. Yeah. But it was perfect for a Kindle.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tend to buy hard copies of certain books because I remember about 3 years ago when Kindle decided to remove from everybody's library a book that was not politically correct.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which book was that?
I don't remember now, but
okay.
Fortunately, I had a hard copy anyway. But that's when I learned, okay, what the electronics can give you, the electronics can take away.
Oh, that's true.
And it's a little harder to take away the physical book.
Yep.
Yep. Let's see.
One of my clients has been quite successful on selling books on Amazon, but he's noticed lately they're not promoting him like they used to. He's written books that are not politically correct. What are you gonna do?
Go vote in the primary. That's what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I got a friend who's an election judge. He's busy right now.
I bet. And I think I know who you're talking about.
George, what's his last name right now?
Soros?
No,
Oh.
definitely not.
No. It's
Sorry,
somebody
I was only half paying attention here.
it's somebody from his BJM group.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's why I knew who he was talking about.
Well, the thing is, the pay is pretty good and it's 12-hour shifts. So,
And it's great to be when you're unemployed and you need some money to pay the gas bill or whatnot for the week.
Yeah.
George Pickens, he's retired, but
Ah.
he's an ex-Navy pilot turned accountant. Now, is that a strange
Really?
combination? Pardon me if I finish eating my breakfast. But then I guess if I was there in person, I'd be doing the same thing.
Yes. I could use some of their breakfast right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think I can give you some bacon. Nope, not. I can only give coffee and donuts.
You realize coffee proves to be an effective deterrent for some forms of COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, coffee has got literally thousands of different things in it. They're still exploring. It's like tea. They still haven't figured it all out. But it turns out there's at least two variants of COVID that it kills.
Wow.
I go,
I love-
okay.
I love coffee, so that's okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. I'm drinking coffee to keep COVID away.
Yeah. Give me more.
Coffee.
Yeah, they don't recommend it, but that's not the point. The point is when they're
No.
testing stuff, they test everything.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to recommend anything that resolves it. You know, they won't have the problem, right?
Well, that's a different whole issue.
Yeah.
Just remember, it could be worse. It could be snowing.
Yes.
True.
And
I will take this beautiful weather we've had.
and
All right.
Bruce could be driving in the
started.
snow to Austin. Yeah. It's 8:40.
Yep.
7:40 Central.
Oh, you're right. 7:40. I'm sorry.
Howdy. Howdy.
Howdy.
Howdy.
We're going to do it again. All right. Please join me. You guys are ready to go. We're going to start with the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag
To the flag
United
of
States
the
of
United
America,
States of America
and to the
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all. All right.
Even if someone is obscuring the flag.
You know, I am incredibly glad to see each and every one of y'all who missed me last week. You bunch of liars. Y'all are lying. I was trying to tee it up, man. I need some emotional support this morning. So I need a little bit of emotional support this morning, and I didn't get it. So I'm asking again, who missed me last week? Thank you for lying. Hey, David, can you turn it down a little bit back over there? They're getting a little blasted out. So, hey guys, again, so glad. Sorry that I missed last week. We've got a good group here today. Love to see each and every one of y'all. All right. So, who here has never been to Reveille Networking for in their entire life? This is the very first time. We got one liar, 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 two liar. All right. So, as long as the liars outweigh the new folks, we're doing well, I think, right? Well, you new guys, I'm glad that y'all are here with us today. This is a special day. We're going to have a good time. Why is this one special? One, because I'm back. No, it's not it at all. That's what brings it down. But we have a special speaker. We're going to hear from Kelly here in just a little bit with Project Beacon. They do awesome things in the autistic world for folks that are struggling there. We got a lot of adults that need help, and they're going to tell us exactly how they're doing that and how they're getting the community together. Before we do that, though, we're going to say hi to a number of folks that are in this room right now. I want to say hi to the leadership team. Who's on leadership? Please raise your hand. We got one. Raise it high, John. Let everybody know. Quit being shy. So these guys are instrumental in making sure this group runs the way it's supposed to be. This is more than for you new folks. This is more than just coming together, saying hi, shaking a hand, drinking some coffee, hearing a speaker, anything like that. There's some things that go on behind. We're going to hear about that here in just a minute when it comes to our community involvement. I also want to say hi to our technology team. Hello, tech team. Look at those fine folks. They make sure that the microphone works. Don't touch that dial. Dang it. We do have a new person on our technology. Frank, thank you so much for stepping up. Frank will be driving Zoom today. So Zoomers, if it goes awry,
blame Frank.
Blame Frank. I mean, just frankly, that's frankly. Oh gosh, that killed me. All right. So I also want to say hi to our Zoomers. How many we got on this morning? I think we got 3 or 4 on there, right? Maybe. See, Frank is having to learn how to drive it. Holy cow, look at all those folks. So we are so glad. Look, Bob, where are you? You're not in San Diego, you liar, San Francisco, whatever. I don't care. San Francisco. It's one of those who cares about California? Never mind. All right. So we're glad to see each and every one of you folks. We're going to talk to y'all here in just a little bit. Now let's go to everybody's favorite show, the Ray Rogers Show, everybody.
All right. So how did y'all like the step-in person last week? Yeah. So much so that none of y'all showed up. So I'm just kidding. All right. So we're back to normal this week. So I will be giving you our purpose. We're here for 5 reasons. What is the first reason? Business owners, where y'all at?
Both hands on the wheel, Bruce.
Let's see if the sign lady, who is not here, let's see if there's going to be another sign person. Our corporate employees, where are you at? Oh, man. All right. Well, we do have corporate employees that show up. I promise. I'm just kidding. Our third is going to be those in transition. Anybody here in transition? All right. All right. Our fourth. The most exciting group of them all. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the happiest group of them all. All right, our fifth and most important is giving back. That's giving back to each other by helping each other to find the opportunities that we're looking for. That's also giving back to our community. We have a number of ways that we give back to our community. One, by providing a platform here. Others, by providing our time, funds, and expertise to the community, and we are very proud of that. With that said, I'll finish off with our vision. It's to positively impact business professionals and our community through the development of quality relationships, the passion of the 12th man, and the inspiration to
Do the Bernie.
Thank you, Ray. Did feel like the only group that had any energy was the retirees, which is weird because they don't have to get up that early, do they, normally? John, what time you normally get up in the morning if it's not Reveille Day? 7? That's freaking weird, dude. Don't do that. I'm very disappointed in you. All right. All right. Let's see here. Tommy is not here. Roland is not here. Who is going to be able to give our quick history? I ain't doing it. Shit, I don't ever listen. I don't even know what it is. So Reveille Networking, here you knows the history, started about 8 years ago. A gentleman named Philip Wilkerson decided he did not want to drive all the way downtown to go to the Reveille Networking or the Reveille group that was in downtown. He said, you know what? We need a Reveille up north. So in his brilliance, and he is a brilliant man, I'm not just being facetious. Is that how you say the word? Facetious? All right. That's the, yes, he's not trying to be Bocephus. So, he's actually doing a really good job, and so am I. So shut up. I know because I felt your judgment on me, Cassandra. I felt it. Oh yes, the education at A&M that helped. So we'll get to that. So this thing was started. It was a great time had by all, it was about 12. We started out with 12 folks in our very first meeting. It was all guys apparently, and all of a sudden, Stacy Harris, who's a non-Aggie, came up and said, "Look, I want to crash your party." And so she came in and she ruined it, y'all. It was all Aggies until Stacy came in. She ruined it, and now all these non-Ags started showing up. And I joke, man, it's been a blessing and an honor. It's been so much better than if it was just Aggies only. We got to meet so many more people. So as you notice, we do things through the Aggie spirit and the Aggie through the Aggie code of honor and all that jazz. But we want to make sure that we are doing the things within the community that helps, and we need everybody's support to do so. So with that, we've given over $80,000 to local charities over the last 8 years. Most of that's been backloaded. We've done that in the last 4 years mostly. We support groups like Arrow Child and Family Ministry, Meals on Wheels. We support a number of other local charities. We also give a $2,000 Aggie scholarship, which doesn't last, or it's not as big a deal as it used to be. Thanks to inflation, but whatever, we still give it. So there's an Aggie scholarship there, and just all the other awesome things like what we do till we give a platform to our local charities to come in and say hi to us. So that is a quick history. I've got nothing else. Did I get everything? Can I hit the highlights? All right, good enough. All right. Do we have any name tags? Okay. I don't. What? I just work here. So, how much time? Because we didn't talk about that. How much time do you think you need? All right. So, 20 minutes. I think we can do better in 20 minutes. So, I think since we don't have name tags, let's skip over that for now. Are y'all okay with that? Okay. So, for real quick, for those that don't know, name tags important to this group. 12 times shows that you want to be part of the group. And you get your very own special name tag with 12. 12 is important in the Aggie lore. All right, with that, we're going to go on and get to our commercials. So since we do have a speaker, what are we going to do today?
Drop and go.
Some of y'all have no clue what that is. We're going to show you here in just a minute. So we're going to start with our Zoomers on our drop and goes. Did you get that, Zoomers? And do we have our Zoom? Man, that's a good Zoom list. I love that. So Amanda Lesnick, then Jonathan May. Amanda, show us what a drop and go is.
My name is Amanda Lesnick with United Water Restoration Group of the Woodlands.
Do it again because we had you muted for part of it.
Hi, good morning. Amanda Lesnick with United Water Restoration Group of the Woodlands.
Fantastic. Did y'all get that? Name, company, and you can say your industry. All right. Jonathan May, are you good?
Can you hear me?
We can indeed.
Hey guys, Jonathan May. I am in transition. I literally have a contract job that I have started this week, and I have a new interview today, so please send
we
up
lost
some
you, my
positive
friend.
information.
Hey, do this for us when you get to a stopping point. Put everything that you're looking for in the chat. We'll make sure you get connected with some folks. And if you can, swing on in. All right, Bruce Keene, Bob Jacinto. That's so weird. All right, Bruce Keene, then Bob. Drop and goes.
Bruce Keene, Southern Cross Communications. Every business deserves office telephones that say, wow.
All right, Rich, Matthew Bargsley. Rich.
I'm Rich Marsh, Between Jobs Ministry. If you're in transition, we need to talk.
Thank you, Rich. Matthew Bargsley, Edgar Almanza. Matthew.
Matthew Bodgley, IT e-discovery at KBR.
Fantastic. Edgar, then Wade Hooker. Edgar.
Good morning, Reveille. Edgar Almanza, SGS Redback, Business Development Manager Americas. Edgar Almanza.
Thank you, sir. Wade Hooker, Corey Allen. Wade.
Good morning, Wade Hooker, Century Communities, a national home builder.
Thanks. And good seeing you, man. Haven't seen you in a while. All right. And
Good to be
Corey
here.
Allen.
Howdy, Corey Allen, Vice President and Financial Advisor at Primerica Advisors, veteran owned.
Awesome. Thank you. Do we get everybody online?
No.
Oh, who do we miss?
Bob Jacinto.
Did I skip Bob?
Morning, Bob Jacinto. Morning, Bob Jacinto, Legacy Partners, Insurance and Tax-Free Retirement.
All right. Sorry about that, Bob. Now did we get everybody? We got Amanda. She started. Yeah. All right. We ready? Let's go in person. Remember, drop and goes. Who's running camera? We got Mo. Mo's our camera person.
Ronald Lambert, Hardware IT Program Manager, currently working a contract through Insight Global at Hewlett Packard.
Kelly Bowman with Project Beacon, Texas.
Cassandra Mays, Salt Remedy, All Natural Allergy Relief.
Stacey Harris, Network in Action.
John Stacy, Business Coach and Advisor, Transforming Your Business.
Amanda Falcu, owner of Inspire Salon and Spa, helping you look good and feel good.
Scott Miller, Save On Filters.
Todd Fleury, in transition with a large base of real estate knowledge. Thank you.
Nikki Hankins, No Dumb Blonde Accounting. I need a landscaper that can do dirt work.
Alan Cunningham, The Home Inspections Company. Adam Wright with Military Houston.
Joshua Tatznell, in transition, looking for an entry-level mechanical engineering job.
John Miller, Class 81, retired.
Research and development for foods, developing good flavors.
Morley Mike Wells, semi-retired.
Waiting for the camera. Steve Shoemaker, Redemption Roofing, home of. And shouldn't it be go and drop if you drop before you go?
What time is it, people? Mike Mogil, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. One office at a time. We make it shine.
Hi, Marilyn Sander, Pro Action Careers, Direct Hire Employment Agency. Marilyn Sander.
Good morning, Carlos Canales with Stormguard Roofing. I'm a owner and a managing partner.
Dr. Michael Schmidt saying blessings this morning, and that I've been treating autism for over 20 years, Kelly.
Diane Schmidt, Trinity Holistic Wellness Center, where we have stem cells that are DNA free and ways to activate your stem cells.
Hi, Jennifer Applegate, Impact Fleet Director of Community Relations and HRF Director for Lions District 2S2.
Good morning, Leslie Williams with Senior Care Scout. We're in the senior care industry. Thank you.
Edmund Yeboah with Always Best Care Senior Services here at the Woodlands. We specialize in placements, in-home care, and transportation.
Alex Gardner, Alpha Martial Arts, Krav Maga self-defense instructor, adult birthday party self-defense workshops.
Kitty Bank Sale, Hippo Custom Imprinting, Custom Decorated Apparel, and so much more.
Built organ ownership for success. Scott Hoffman, still retired.
Happy Friday, Stephen Hayes, Hayes Insurance Services. Ross, owner of Minuteman Press, commercial printing.
Tony Castellon, TCB Realty, Keller Williams Advantage in Conroe, also birthday parties.
J.R. Maris of the Mayor Spec Inspection Services, Home Inspections. Trying to imagine the birthday party with a bunch of old people trying to kill each other.
Ray Rogers, help my clients get to and stay in group number 4.
Antonio Gutierrez, residential mortgage broker. It's my son's 7th birthday today.
Tyler Dustin with True Grit Lawn Care will get your yard ready for your birthday party.
Gary Kokomo's, we need you to eat here.
Go back to these guys. Angela, you're up.
Good morning, everybody. Angela Schimmels, Image 360, Science and Graphics. Thank you.
Now we're coming down this road.
Gabriela Duran, Texas Local Partners with Commercial Real Estate.
Beto Reyes, Top Dog, Pet Grooming, Training and Boarding, and Intermite Pest Control.
Hector Cavazos, retired.
David McGuffin, Space City Payments. If it can be tapped, dipped, or swiped, I got a solution for you.
Frank Fuss, Life Coaching. I take my clients from Eeyore to Thor, from good to great, from frustration to celebration.
Donna? Okay, Donna.
Donna Hunter, impersonating Frank Boyd.
Di
And Mo.
I do Juice Plus.
And Biblical Heart Healing and Deliverance for Women.
Howdy. Adam Cook, Cook Insurance Group, Commercial Insurance. There you go. Oh, and I love birthday parties. I will go to them. All right. Put my bacon up there. All right. Y'all did a fantastic job. Let's see how much time we got left. Dude, not even 8 o'clock. We could go around the horn again. We got time. No, okay. So we've got time to give you a little extra time this morning, which I'm glad we're able to do that. So Angela, will you come up? Where are you, Angela? Angela. So she's going to come up and introduce. She has the honor of always introducing our speakers. She is our speaker keeper. So if you know of an organization or group that you think would be awesome to come talk to us at some point over the next year, get with Angela and see if we can't get them on the schedule. We want to hear what's happening in the community. But as she comes up, I'm trying to fill up dead space because dead air. You don't have anything? Oh, I thought you had the bios. Oh, all right. Well, anyway, never mind. So I'll just do it. Kelly, come on up. Tell us what's going on. We'll let you do your own bio because that's the kind of guy that I am.
Kelly, yay! Thank you so much for having me here, Angela. Thank you for inviting me. I've been invited to this group multiple times. Stacy is my NIA coach. I don't know where she went. She left. And I've heard from so many people, this is a fun group. And I'm like, oh, I bet, yeah, I don't like to get up early. So, and you do. And I hope I don't take the energy down in this room. My name is Kelly Bowman, and I have the honor to serve as the first executive director, co-founder of Project Beacon, Texas. The reason, let's see, I'll tell you a little bit about where I came from. So up until 2020, I was an owner and a director in an interior architecture and design firm. We did corporate interior office space. Did that for 25 years. I'm not an architect or designer. I built a consulting practice inside of that business. But in 2020, something big happened to our world. I always hate to bring it up, but you remember that was the start of the pandemic. And at the same time, my son Mason, who is now 27, had just aged out of his transition program at the Woodlands High School here in the Woodlands, the Trails program. So for those of you who don't know, those individuals with special needs, they have a right to education services beyond the age of 18. So once they graduate, they can actually stay in school until they're 22. In Mason's case, he was almost 23 years old. And we'd worked really hard. Mason is on the autism spectrum. He also has an intellectual and developmental disability. We'd worked really hard with Mason through all of those years. And we got to the end of his educational system, and it transitioned out into the system of adult care. But the problem is that there really is no system of adult care. So it was a cliff. So we had this steep ascent of all of this great intervention, great therapies, education, rights to education and things like that, even to vocation programs in that transition program, just to face that cliff and for it to stop. But in our case, 2020 happened, and I found Mason sitting on my couch day after day after day, losing the skills that he had gained because there was so little for me to offer. We couldn't go out into the community. I mean, we couldn't even go to church because church had shut down. So there were things that we just were missing. And I looked around and I thought, I don't love what I do anymore. And I want to do something different. And I want to change this. I was starting to realize there was a complete deficit. So I stepped away. I walked away from that career to start Project Beacon, Texas. How many of you in the room have a connection? You know someone, you have a family member, you have a good friend who has a son or a daughter or somebody that has been diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum? Yeah, look around the room. You almost cannot walk into a room where no one raises their hand anymore. And the reason for that, when Mason was 4, when he was first diagnosed, the number of children who were being diagnosed was 1 in 250. The CDC decided to start taking these statistics because they realized there's a problem and it's coming. Today, the number is 1 in 36 children are diagnosed on the autism spectrum. So those children that at the very beginning of this wave, those children are now becoming adults. And where we are now is we are trying to figure out what does the system of adult care look like. And that's part of what Project Beacon is about. I want to ask you just for a second, if you would, just take about 5 seconds. I want you to think about a memory from when you were in high school or in college, maybe. See a couple of raised eyebrows, a couple of smiles. I can almost bet you that everybody in this room, you didn't think about the chemistry lesson or the math equation or the paper that you wrote. That is not what you thought about. What you thought about were moments. You thought about experiences with your friends, with your family. Those are exactly the kinds of moments that diminish for our children with disabilities as they age. So that's why we're here. And I'm sorry, thank you. Somebody is paying attention. Thanks, Frank, because I forgot to tell Frank to expand this. So Project Beacon, what we're here to do is to build safe homes and vibrant futures for neurodiverse adults. Mostly, we're trying to build a community of belonging. And so if you'll go to the next slide, people always ask me, what does a community of belonging mean? And so Dr. Eric Carter, who's formerly with Vanderbilt University, now at Baylor University, he does this work, and he says that belonging is more than just being included or to be noticed. It's more than just that. It really is about 10 dimensions of belonging. And you have to have all 10 of these to truly feel like you belong somewhere. And I bet you, this group seems so tight, and think about it. To be invited, to be known, to be befriended, present, accepted, loved, needed, supported, welcomed, and in our case, most of all, to be heard. So if you'll go ahead and go to the next slide. This is our board of directors. When we first started out, told you I did interior architecture work. My firm did the ExxonMobil campus. I had the pleasure of going all around the globe with my clients, ExxonMobil being one of my most recurring clients across the years. Kevin Garrity is our co-founder. He and I were sitting across from on a lunch table. We'd known each other for 20 years. We share the fact that not only our work, but also that he has a son that is on the autism spectrum. And he looked at me one day and he said, Kelly, what are you going to do with Mason when he ages out of his program? And I thought, I don't know, because I'm just trying to get Mason to the next step. And that's what a lot of parents do, right? And so in 2020, I did call Mason, but I called Kevin too. And I said, Kevin, let's get this show on the road. And so we did what we do best. And we went out and started looking for some of the experts that we know that were our friends. And so you'll see some of those here on the slide. Our vice president and secretary is Cindy Melton. She's the COO for Rice Management Company. They manage the endowment for Rice University. You probably know Amy. You'll see her in just a second in the video. She'll tell her story. Dave Abrams is retired ExxonMobil planning manager. He serves as our treasurer right now. Rob Johnson served as a founding member of our board, served as our board secretary. He's a retired ExxonMobil global general counsel. Very involved here in the Woodlands area. Some of you probably know him. He was the board for Interfaith for quite some time and is still serving as an advisor for that board. Glenn Lucado is a development director for United Way San Antonio. Rob Wallard, also ExxonMobil retiree. I promise not all of them are ExxonMobil retirees, but he was the global sales manager. Amanda Smith, board certified behavior analyst, just joined our board to help us with programs. Wendy Maurer is a special education teacher and business development director for Cole Health. And then Paul Vanderwall, also here in the Woodlands with Vanderwall Architects. He's been working with us for the last 2 years. You're going to get to see a little bit of our vision here. And unbeknownst to us, he has a grandson who is on the spectrum. So he's very interested in helping us with this. So before I tell you more about Project Beacon, I want to tell you a little bit more about the why. So we're going to watch a short video and then I'll come back to tell you a little bit more.
My son James is 19 years old. James was diagnosed with profound autism at the age of 22 months. And for the first 6 to 9 months of James's life, he looked very much like a typically developing baby. Around the time of 12 to 18 months, we saw a huge regression. We started to lose his eye contact. He did not respond to his name. At that time, there was not a lot online in terms of access for parents to look at characteristics of what does a child with autism, what does that look like and how does it manifest? We knew that we needed to get James in front of someone with expertise, and we were able to start an in-home early intervention program for him. And he's been at the Woodlands High School now for 4 years. He is absolutely thriving in that environment. He also works on a coffee cart that the special education kids do for the faculty. He also is doing some of their vocational programs where he goes and volunteers at a nearby church. It was critical for James to have access to a behavior analytic team to help us get James back to where he needs to be in terms of a quality of life for him and also us as a family.
You know, the impacts that a special needs kid has on the rest of the family are hard to measure. You know, he doesn't have normal eating patterns. He doesn't have normal hygiene patterns, but it's the wake behind that where the impact is, and you just have to learn to deal with that. And that is not the easiest thing to deal with. That's why you see all these high divorce rates for special needs kids, because it is tough.
Mason, we're leaving for college. Are you excited? How excited are you? Well, toll on the family. I will say that classic textbook. We went through all of it. Mason has a sister, Sarah, an older sister, Sarah. Their dad and I divorced when they were young because it was complicated. And she knew that she was my eyes and ears. She was Mason's protector. I think that took a toll on her too, because she didn't have the freedom that normally had, and even to this day, I think about what will the burden be on Sarah, moving forward if Mason can't be independent.
After public school, they kind of hit a brick wall. They don't have any additional supports, the ongoing supports that they need both vocationally, socially, in executive functioning skills, behaviorally. And because of that, we end up with 85 to 90% of individuals on the autism spectrum are unemployed or underemployed.
The options for people with ASD that no longer have a parent or, close family caregiver in their lives to help support them are pretty minimal, quite frankly. Chances are good that without the right supports, without the right settings, that he could end up homeless. He could end up in homeless shelters, and God forbid, the justice system.
I don't know what he's going to do when he's done with this school. One of the things that we're trying to do with Beacon is make that transition seamless, so you can go from like a life skills program like this into some other similar program, and these kids can continue to learn. But that stuff's not out there. It's like getting to the end of the cliff. You look over the edge of the cliff and there's nothing there. And you have to build it yourself, is what we're doing.
The funding that goes towards supporting adults in Texas, we are 49th out of 50. And families wait on waiting lists to provide those services for their adults, sometimes decades, 15 to 20-year wait lists.
And he is something like 8,000 and something on the list. So at the current rate of state funding, he will become eligible at the top of this list when he's in his 40s. The future is not that far out. We start, okay, I'm going to retire. What does that mean for Tommy? Tommy's going to age out of this program. What does that mean? So the future starts like in 2 years.
Project Beacon is 4 things. It's live, work, play, learn. So it's a place to live. It's a place to work, to have meaningful employment, to have meaningful vocational opportunities.
So Project Beacon is going to develop a vocational program that is on property for individuals that need to work in a vocational setting that is more supported and need more supports.
So you have, security. You'll have Wednesday night pizza night. You'll have cable TV, AC, security. All the common community charges will be basically equally applied across all the residents, and that's your apartment rent.
So live, work, play. Our guys they're not always the easiest to make friends with, but they want friendship.
There will be a very big community center where there are a lot of opportunities for social interaction and pathways to friendship.
So a place to play, but a place to learn too. Ongoing learning, to learn to grocery shop, to learn to have healthy relationships with people. What does that look like?
Having a vibrant life where they're doing stuff that they find rewarding.
So I just break it down to those 4 things. It's live, work, play, learn. It's covering all of those bases, and that's what we are attempting to do.
Supporting Project Beacon comes in many, many forms. It can be your time. We have a community that is full of very talented people from many different sectors, business-wise, law-wise, grant writing. We're going to ask those individuals to share some of their talents.
This cause is one that impacts a lot of people. So there's a fundraising component. There's a parent component. You know, if you're a parent like me and you're worried about what you're going to do with your kid and what the future holds and trying to position him or her for a safe and fulfilling future, Beacon is going to do that.
Helping us spread the word, helping us tell the story is one of the things that I think will help us get more traction. You know, one day we'll be a household name and be a luminary in this space and giving back to others who are following in our footsteps.
You know, if you have a regular kid, you might say, hey, my kid got a job at a big 8 accounting firm. You know, my reality is I want to see my kid do laundry and pop popcorn in a microwave. But that is equally rewarding, if not more rewarding, to see him doing something like that.
We would like Project Beacon to really be the beacon leading that surge and call to action to make these individuals included and valued in our community.
Thank you. I'm going to the next slide. The next slide. You want to see it again? Encore. There we go. So what I didn't tell you is Mason is at college. So you saw how thrilled he was about leaving for college. He is actually very happy about being there. He's at a special needs college called Shepherd's College in Union Grove, Wisconsin. I had to go all the way to Wisconsin to find something that would be right for him. It's a 3-year accredited college. He gets an occupational certification, and students there can get an occupational certification in horticulture. Mason said no to that because he lives in Texas and he says it's too hot. So he's pretty smart. I agree with him on that. Or technology or culinary arts. Mason likes to eat, so he chose culinary arts. I will tell you, it's not always easy, though. I mean, he called me yesterday asking for money, like any typical second-year college student, right? For Project Beacon, we do have a strategic roadmap. So we began with the end in mind, which is the intentional residential community, but that's not where we started. Where we actually started was last year. We started holding social enrichment events. We held, I know this is a little bit of an eye chart. We held 6 of those. We actually started incorporating a service component to those. So those social enrichment events, we do like ice cream sundae fun day, and we get together and we play bingo, and we did fall into friendship. So we did we packed bags for breakfast bags for Meals on Wheels. On at December, we did a Polar Express themed party, and kids brought gifts for the Interfaith Toy Drive. So we've started incorporating that so that they understand that they're not just always being served, but they feel good about serving as well. We're continuing that on Saturday. If anybody wants to come out and join us, we're going to Time to Spare in Conroe. We're going bowling on Saturday. That's tomorrow, right? Yes. Our real goal in 2024 is to open individualized day programs, and I'll show you a little bit more about that soon, but then we'll start to add on from there. Vocational opportunities, transition academy. You don't just hand them the keys and say good luck. You've actually got to do a little bit of work to get them ready for independent living and what that looks like. Mason's actually getting some of that training while he is at school because that is a component of that. We want to bring that here to Texas. And then finally, the residential community. So you'll go to the next slide. We call this our bold solution. A lot of people ask me when they hear you're trying to build homes for people with autism or IDD, they say, why is that different from a Brookwood or Marbridge or New Danville, even up the road, which all beautiful programs. All of those executive directors have been very gracious to sit down and mentor us, to talk to us about the challenges that they see and that they face. But one of the things that they do not have is a focus on autism specifically, because autism is a social and communication disorder at its root. It means that you need to design your programs with behavioral principles in mind. And so that's where we're starting. We're talking about board certified behavior analysts, registered behavior therapists. Even with Mason going to a special needs college, I have a behavioral coach for Mason that he meets with once a week on Zoom to help him come up with the behavioral strategies that he needs to actually cope in the classroom. And so it is actually a very special skill to have. The other is a culture of caring. for those of you who don't know, there is a nationwide crisis in the number of direct support providers in this nation. That includes nurses and people that just care for people, attendant services on a daily basis. One of the things that we want to make sure is that our employees are supported, but we also want to know that they hold the same values of empathy and compassion and concern for others. There is a difference in doing something for someone and helping someone do it. So those are some of the things that we're looking for. Innovative programs, we want to make sure that we are building in, using technology and building in creative forms of engagement just to enhance that overall experience. Our guys learn differently, you know, they just do. So how can we leverage the best in class that is out there and help them learn some skills in new ways? And then comprehensive support. So what you see in the video, and you've only seen a case of 3, you saw 2 people who were profoundly affected, my son Mason, who's moderately affected, but there are also those who are, I always hate to say this, quote unquote, high functioning, because it dismisses what they need from a support standpoint. Even those who are higher functioning on the spectrum need a lot of support. And so we want to make sure that we're meeting people where they are. They may not need it as often. I'll just say that. Those that are high functioning may not need it as often, but when they need it, they need access to it. And then partnerships, connections to community. So in addition to being here, I will leave, I was telling Adam, I'll leave here. I will go meet with the Chief Burt and Tomball Police Department and Captain Holyfield and Sergeant Moore from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. We're working on building site collaborations for our LifePath students. For those of you who don't know, LifePath is the post-secondary education program at Lone Star College. They have a program in Tomball. They also have a program here in Montgomery. We have everything that it takes to create a center of excellence here in our community. It's just a matter of connecting the dots. And so I spend a lot of my time working on those partnerships. So for any of those of you here in the room that own businesses that would be interested in talking about offering opportunities, just even for vocational exploration, those are valuable opportunities. I did bring some pamphlets, and before I forget to say it, I do have them over here. So if you're interested, please come pick one up. If you could go to the next slide. This is our potential day program location. This is Capstone. It was a former education building. It's owned by a church. We're in a non-binding letter of intent and lease negotiations to procure this space, but we need a lot of money to get it done. So we're on a drive to raise the money so that we can have the operating capital and cash reserves to be able to do that. One thing that you know that you don't want to have happen is to sign a lease and then not be able to pay the rent or your staff, because we are talking about quality care and it's an expensive proposition. You heard that, you know, state funding doesn't really help us. The rates of reimbursement for this kind of work, if you happen to get it, Mason will also be in his 40s before he receives any of the services from the state. So I love Texas. I'm a native Houstonian, native Texas, but we get it wrong on this point. So why now? So locations meeting our criteria, they really are hard to find. And this interim location, it meets all of our criteria. So when you think about a place for individuals with autism, those who are profoundly affected, they need quiet, they need to be in a safe place, then you need to have good neighbors, all of those things. This meets all of it. And the physical location, we have to do very little to it. That interim location is also in close proximity to a potential permanent location, which just happens to be 2.35 miles down the road. So for parents who are thinking about what's my next step, and I'm waiting for you to get to that residential component, knowing that they could start with Beacon and just, it's all in the same neighborhood. It's easy, you know, for them. And then integration with a respected and best-in-class program partner is a unique opportunity. So we have an adult services program located in the Humboldt-Kingwood area. They've been around for about 20 years, and we have a unique opportunity to partner with them and to start this program here in the Woodlands area. And then just quite frankly, there aren't enough programs out there for people with autism and other neurodiversities. So we need them now. We need to take care of the critical shortage. Okay, so how can you help us? Sign up for our newsletter at www.projectbeacontx.org. That is also on my pamphlet. Tell others about Project Beacon. If you are interested in hosting a small group presentation to your network, I am more than happy. I will buy the wine. I will bring the cheese. I will come and just have a conversation with those. We're trying to get the word out. And so if you would like to do that, I am all ears. Introduce us to potential partners or supporters, people that may be interested in this, and then donate your time and talents, and obviously support us with a financial gift. Okay, one more thing. This is the last thing, I promise. We just announced our Birdies for Beacon second annual golf tournament. It's going to be at April Sound Golf Club on May the 6th. That's a Monday. One thing that's different about this, we talk about belonging and we talk about being included and making sure that we're inclusive. April Sound, for those of you who don't know, is that they've got 27 holes. So we will have an 18-hole regular tournament scramble, but we will use that other 9 holes to do an adaptive golf experience. So we are asking for sponsors to sponsor that so we can get our guys and girls out on the course and introduce them to the game of golf. There's so many great things about the game of golf, from just hand-eye coordination, balance, being out in nature, all of those things that could just truly be beneficial. So we're super excited about that. Birdies for Beacon, QR codes here. It's also on my website. Thank you all so much for letting me come and speak to you today.
Kelly, thank you so much. If you come out with a 3 over par program, then I might be able to do something. I can't do a birdie. That's not a thing. So real quick, I do want to ask you, well, let's take a picture. All right. Thank you so much. So just a real quick question for you here. If there's one single thing that you need to pinpoint, what is your greatest need or desire right now? Not that I can fulfill it. This is not, don't look under your chair that this is about to happen. It's just more, you know, you've got a captive audience here. There's folks here. You never know who's in the room that might know the right person, the right thing. So
I did tell you that we do need a lot of money for Capstone. We need to raise about $600,000. By the end of the year, we need to be at $1.2 million to be in a solid financial footing to get this thing off the ground. We also need volunteers. Come out and join us for all of the events that we're doing, and, you know, just be a part of us and tell people about what we're doing.
Yes, you know, that's what happens with it's what these nonprofit organizations do. They start getting greedy. So no, that's awesome. So you know, one of the things I like about what we do here at Reveille is we give that platform for people to come in and tell us the awesome things they got going on. Mostly it's because, you know, this may not resonate with you, but it may resonate with your friends. There may be an organization that comes in and like, you know what, that organization is exactly who my heart breaks every time I see it, and I want to be more involved. So we get a number of different and kind of diverse type organizations to come in here. So if what she said does speak to you, I encourage you to reach out to them. But if nothing else, go to Facebook, go to your InstaFace or whatever it's called now, and start putting it out there to the world. Let people know that they exist and that they have needs, and be specific on it. They're looking to raise, you said $600,000. Shoot, chump change in this community, right? And honestly, it is. I mean, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of folks out there that this is the exact organization they're looking for. But if they don't know that they exist, they're never going to be able to support. So one of the best things you can do is support them, get the word out, let them know that they exist, and you know, always help, right? Volunteers. So, all right. With that, we're gonna go. What time is it here? Is it 8 o'clock or 8:30? It's shine. Shut up, Mike. Golly, shine time. I gotta quit doing that. I tee him up every stinking time. All right. With that, we got time for just a couple of quick announcements. Anybody have anything awesome? You got one? Come on up real quick while you're coming up. Don't forget, there is the After Reveille party, also known as Drinking with Stacy, at the kitchen at 9 o'clock to 10:30. Great time had by all. She might have a coffee. She might have a bourbon. Who knows? Go there and find out. All right. Exactly.
Hi, everyone. My nephew is in the production of Anastasia, April 5th. 6th and 7th. This nonprofit National Youth Theater puts on amazing shows. they spend about $60,000 on their productions. And so it's well worth going to. If you do decide to buy tickets and take your family, please select Sebastian Boyd Tagle. We're going to put this poster up here at Kokomo's, and I've written his name on the bottom of the poster, but we have to earn credits for him to participate. So I have to get 20 more points. That's 20 more tickets to sell so that he can participate in things. We have to do a lot of volunteer hours. So any support you can do, it's going to be at the Tomball Lone Star College this time. They do move around. Sometime last production was in Willis. But if you guys are interested, it's well worth going. They do put a lot of effort into these productions. Thank you very much.
April 5th, 6th, and 7th. All right. Thank you so much. Real quick, anybody else? No. All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm so glad to see, first timers. Thank you. I'm so glad to see all of y'all first timers, never been here before in your life. I need you to come up. Come up, Adam. Come on. Come on. This dude has the best name, y'all. It's just awesome. I don't know what it is about it. It is. It's Man of Red Earth. I need you to stand right in front of that flag right there. Y'all get up in there, squeeze in, and give us a gig 'em. Gig 'em. Gig 'em. That's your thumb. You got a thumb. There you go. Bye. Awesome. Thank you all so much. Kelly, again, thank you so much for coming. Adam, appreciate you showing up. Girls, thank y'all so much. And y'all have a great weekend. See y'all next week. Bye. What?
Have a great week.
Take care, everybody.
Y'all too. Y'all have a great one.
Planning to.
Have a great week, guys.
See everybody. Like and post, smile, and IG.
I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Amanda. It is.